Hello, yoga friend. Welcome to our weekly gentle yoga practice. This week's class is a 30-minute slow flow. I'm going to focus a lot on the upper body and neck and shoulders. So as we come into our practice this week, I highly recommend that you elevate your hips by sitting on a folded blanket. You know, I offer that invitation quite regularly, but I kind of offer it as an option, and everything is an option. But for our practice today, I'm really going to recommend that you elevate your hips. I feel like, and I know as a yoga teacher, that it helps to tilt the pelvis. And when we're working on the upper body in a seated posture, I always like to have a little more length in the spine just for a little bit better release. So elevate your hips this week as we come into our practice. Sit with your legs in a way that feels comfortable for yourself. Wiggle around and really ground into your sit bones. Since this is a 30-minute yoga practice, a slow flow, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in stillness. But the thing that kind of kept coming up for me when I was thinking about a theme for this practice was the body benefits from movement and the mind benefits from stillness. So we'll have a little bit of both of that, a lot of movement in our practice this week, though. All right, we're going to sit really tall. Inhale as you send the arms up. Spread your fingers wide, reclaim some space. On the exhale, we let the hands come together and we bring the hands down the front of the body. So that's the movement. You know, as you open your hands and bring the hands or the palms forward, let the hands kind of come low, extend through the fingertips to make your arms as long as possible. Here's the inhale, and we'll turn the gaze to look up. Maybe you even lift your chin a little bit at the top. On the exhale, the hands come together and bring them down. Now we're going to move this way to the rhythm of the breath, and I'm going to invite you, when it feels comfortable, to close your eyes and just feel this movement, feel the breath, feel yourself moving in sync with the breath. Our inhale happens as we lift up and open. Notice when your hands touch, and on the exhale, bring them down. Notice when the hands part. We're going to do that a few more times, and I'm going to be quiet and breathe. Now take your time, and the next time the hands travel down the front of your body, let them pause in front of your heart center. The hands are in what's referred to as Anjali Mudra, prayer pose, or joining of opposites. There's all kinds of different terms to use for this, but I'm going to invite you, as the hands come in front of the heart, gently pressing the palms together, not anything forced, but there's definitely just a slight bit of effort there. And we're going to drop the hands down a little bit so that the forearms are parallel to the floor. I hope you feel a sweet stretch there. Draw your shoulder blades back and down, and draw the chin in a little bit, just to maybe lift the back of the head so that you've got a little more space in the back of the neck. Some slow, deep breaths here. Calling in an intention if you're so inclined. If there's something that you need in particular from your yoga practice today, you might set an intention around that, or choose a word of focus, or maybe you just choose to be fully present, knowing that movement is medicine for the body and stillness is medicine for the mind. Let's do 2 slow, deep breaths here. Nice. Let your eyes open. We're going to interlace our fingers, and we're going to press our palms out in front of us. So here's the flow. I'm going to turn a little sideways so you can see. Palms pressing out in front. All right, on an inhale, we're going to lift the hands up, lift your whole body up. And on the exhale, we'll bend the elbows and round through the spine as the hands press forward. Shoulder blades come apart, chin squeezes, belly squeezes in. On an inhale, we lift up, leading with the palms of the hands and extending the spine really tall. And on the exhale, bend your elbows. And as you press forward, we round through the back body. We're going to do that a few more times. Breathing in, we lift and open. Breathing out, we close and compress. Do one more like that. Big breath in. Full breath out. Nice. We're going to sit ourselves tall and open the arms into a T shape. Thumbs point up here at first. Fingers are spread wide. Sit tall and soften the shoulders down. Now we're going to turn the thumbs to point back. And on an inhale, reach the arms, the hands back behind you. Nice. On an exhale, thumbs point up as the hands come forward. Again, we're going to round into the back body as we squeeze the chin in. Notice your shoulder blades coming apart. On an inhale, sit up, open your arms, and the thumbs point back as you press the hands back behind you. Exhale, thumbs up, round forward, squeeze the chin. A couple more times like that. Breathing in and breathing out. The next time you open, we'll pause. And let's bring our hands together in front of the heart. All right, so we're going to move back and forth between this shape and seated star pose. So when the hands come together, and you can see what happens in the alignment in my body, when I press the hands together and lower the palms so that my forearms are parallel to the floor, I get a bit more of a stretch there in the front of the wrist. So this isn't just bringing the hands together in front of the heart. This is hands together and then a little bit lower, right? Okay, so here we go. On an inhale, we're going to reach the hands up, keep your palms together, and then open the arms. Spread your fingers wide, drop your shoulders. Now, star pose, we're lifting through the crown of the head. We're reaching through the 2 points, so it's a 5-pointed star. The other 2 points at the base are your sit bones, let's say that. Deep breath in, lift up, hands pressed together. Exhale, bring them down, soften the shoulders, and drop the hands down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring them together and down. Be more like that. You know, when you open up for that star pose, you might even create like a little bit of a back bend, reaching the hands behind you a little more space under the arms. Let's do one more time. All right. We're going to interlace our fingers and bring your elbows together. We're going to rotate our wrists around a few times. See if you can keep your elbows together. This is a stretch for me. My upper body hasn't always really liked elbows together. That's why, if you're familiar with other yoga poses that I do not typically lead, eagle arms, where the arms are crossed, and you're holding hands, my upper body just has never worked that way, and that's all right. I'm fine with that. All right, shake out your hands, bring your hands to your knees. Let's circle our body. And now at this point, if you'd like to release that blanket out from underneath your seat, you could do that. Might get a little bit more of a stretch and grounding that way in the hips. A little more open space. Drawing the belly in, breathing, moving slowly. And let's circle in the opposite direction. Let your shoulders kind of move a little bit. Let your head be a little floppy. Deep breath. All right, let's come to center. On an inhale, we'll lift the arms up. On an exhale, we'll take our right hand down and reach up and over through the left hand. Now, one of the things that I've been a little more focused on lately in my yoga classes is having that hand that's grounded just a little bit closer to the body, rather than I see students go like this and then they compromise the alignment of the spine. And so kind of scoot your hand in a little bit. And that means even if you need to bend your elbow to find a little more space on the left side. Yeah. That also will help to strengthen your arm and the shoulder, kind of stabilize that shoulder girdle. Deep breath, kind of gently press down into your left sit bone. As you reach through the left hand, we're going to turn our chin from shoulder to shoulder. So squeeze your shoulder over towards the left, or squeeze your chin over towards the left shoulder, and then nice and slow, squeeze the chin over towards the right shoulder. Back and forth like that a few times. The next time the chin turns to the left, pause. One more deep breath. Good. On an inhale, we'll lift back up. Exhale, take your left hand to the floor, not reach it out, right? Left hand to the floor, and then reach up and over through your right fingertips. Soften the shoulders down. Gently grounding into your right sit bone, we're going to turn our chin from shoulder to shoulder. So we'll squeeze it over there towards the right, and then slowly move it towards the left. You know, that pause that we take at the end of the motion, and we're intentionally drawing it over for a little bit of extra space and stretch. Take your time. The next time your chin turns to the right, we'll pause. Deep breath. Nice. On an inhale, we're going to lift up. And on the exhale, we're going to take a twist to the right. Fingertips ground behind you. You know, here, we're going to do a little bit of a flow practice here. On an inhale, we'll lift up. And on the exhale, let's twist over to the left. Let's do that a couple more times. Breathing in, we lift up. Breathing out, we twist right. And one more time. Nice. Big breath in and a full breath out. We're going to pause over here. Sitting tall, we'll move our head around a little bit. In my own yoga practice and in my teaching practice, you know, if you've practiced with me for long enough, you know I really love stillness. And so when I'm leading a flow practice, I kind of forget. Like, oh yeah, we're flowing, we're moving. All right, let's bring the chin back over to the right. Deep breath in. And on a next inhale, we'll lift up. And then let's take that twist to the left, where we'll pause and we'll hold still with the exception of the head. So move your head around a little bit. Keep your spine nice and tall. We're going to turn the chin back to the left shoulder for one more deep breath. On our next inhale, we'll lift. Big breath in, full breath out. Come to your hands and knees for table pose. Let's have our yoga blocks at the top of the mat. We're still going to work our shoulders a little bit, but we're going to hold a little hip opener while we work the shoulders now. All right, so from your hands and knees, let's move through a few basic cat-cow motions. Inhaling as the tailbone lifts, we look forward, shoulders slide back, and the sit bones fan apart. On the exhale, we tuck the tailbone and round. Finding the pause, pressing the floor away from yourself as you squeeze the belly and squeeze the chin in. Inhale, tailbone lifts. A couple more like that. Finding that flow motion through the entire spine from your tailbone all the way up to the base of the skull. All right, bring your spine to neutral. We're going to take our hands onto the blocks and we'll step our right foot forward. Wiggle the foot forward so you have nice extension of that left knee behind your body rather than right underneath your hip. Sink and wiggle a little bit, find a little movement. All right. And then we'll scoot our hips back, finding a runner stretch, keeping an intentional bend in the knee and lifting the toes, and kind of wiggle and feel into that now. We're going to be moving back and forth between those two shapes to the rhythm of the breath. Here we go. Bring yourself forward, take a deep breath in as you lift your heart and gaze. And on the exhale, sink back, keeping a bend in the knee. Lift the toes, bow your head, find the pause at the end of the exhale. On our inhale, we move forward. And on the exhale, we move back. A couple more times like that. Take your time. And the next time you come forward, we'll pause. We'll let the hips be heavy. And we're going to ground our left hand onto the block. We're going to reach forward with the right fingertips. Sink into the hips. See if you can keep your hips kind of low. On an inhale, we're going to lift our hand. So we're going to start to create some big circles with that right arm, moving into the shoulder. And see if you can keep your gaze on the hand. So as the hand moves around, your head and neck are moving as well. Deep breath as you open and breath out as you release. Notice your right hip doing the work to keep your right leg drawn into your body. Let's go one more time around. Spread your fingers wide. Take up a little more space. All right, let's bring our right hand back down. We'll slide our right foot back. Little lifted cat-cow motion, tucking and moving the tailbone, hands elevated on your blocks. All right, we're going to step our left foot forward. Wiggle the foot forward so you have nice extension of the right knee back behind you. Sink and wiggle a little bit. Feel into this shape. Notice with kindness and compassion how you're feeling on this side. Take a deep breath in. All right, let's scoot back and feel into a runner stretch, noticing yourself, keeping your body connected to the leg by way of a bent knee, toes lift up, head bows. Just kind of wiggle a little bit here. Wake up, muscles. This is a safe and healing way to be in my body. It's okay to release, relax. All right, let's move between those two shapes. On an inhale, we come forward, lifting the heart and gaze. And on the exhale, we sink back. Lifting the toes, bowing the head. Back and forth like that, moving in sync with the breath. You know, when we're taking these intentional shapes and we're moving to the rhythm of the breath, we are, in a sense, creating a moving meditation, right? One where we're being so mindful. Breathing out, I'm scooting myself back, feeling the stretch, feeling the pause. Breathing in, I bring myself forward. Now take your time. The next time you come forward to a low lunge, we'll pause there. We're going to keep our right hand grounded onto the block. We're going to reach our left hand forward, sink into the hips. On an inhale, we lift the hand up and start to create some big circles and letting the gaze follow the hand. Notice your left hip doing the work to keep the knee or the leg drawn into yourself. I notice that as my hand goes back, my left big toe lifts up. I'm just going to let that happen. Like that needs to happen on this side. I got some healing opportunities on the left. Let's go around one more time. Oh yeah. Take your left hand back to the block and let's slide our left foot back. Let's take our knees a little bit wider. You don't have to go as wide as your yoga mat, but definitely a little bit wider. And let the feet be directly behind the knees. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to scoot our hips back. Maybe they go, a little bit closer to your yoga mat, maybe not. Inhale, come up, and letting the hips come forward. Now, I am using my yoga blocks just to have a little more height there. You can have your hands on the floor if that wants to happen. All right, let's lift our hips up and scoot them back. Our inhale happens when we come forward. Exhale happens as the hips go closer to the floor. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, scoot them back. On the inhale, when you come up, you might curve your back up, kind of like a little bit of a cat pose. And also when you come forward, if the hips want to sink a little bit lower, you can let that happen. Shoulders back and away from the ears. Take your time, and the next time your hips scoot back, we're going to pause there. We're going to take our big toes to touch behind us. Coming into child's pose, let's surrender the hands to our yoga mat. Surrender your elbows to the mat. Let your forehead be supported. So if your forehead doesn't comfortably rest on your yoga mat, you could prop a yoga block underneath it for support. And as you come into this shape, close your eyes and notice now the only noticeable movement in the body, the noticeable flow now becomes the rise and fall of the breath. Feel that. Feel your body lift and expand and move on the inhale. The body softens and surrenders on the exhale. Movement is medicine for the body. Stillness is medicine for the mind. Yoga is medicine for all of it, right? Yoga is medicine for the soul. So good. I'm so proud of you for continuing to show up for yourself on your mat. Let's do one more big breath in. Feel your body lift and expand. And a full breath out. Feel the body soften and surrender. We're going to slowly roll the body up, one vertebrae at a time. Come on back up. We're going to land on our seat in butterfly pose. So come on around. We're going to be working our neck a little bit. And so if you do tend to be tight in your spine and hips, you might want to elevate your hips once again on that folded blanket. I'm going to just sit in a regular butterfly pose. All right, let's rock back and forth a couple of times, picking up one side of your seat as you ground into the other side. All right. Bringing yourself to center, shoulders drop back and down. We're going to lightly hold up, but intentionally hold on to our ankles for a little seated cat-cow motion. On an inhale, we lift ourselves forward, shoulder blades squeeze together on the back body. And on the exhale, as we tuck the tailbone and round back, let your elbows be straight. And then we're going to lift our legs. We're squeezing the legs to the elbows and the elbows to the legs. So there's a little push and pull going on there. All right, here we go. On an inhale, we rock forward on the seat, lifting the heart and the gaze. Exhale, tuck and round. Squeeze chin to chest. Find that nice length. Shoulder blades come apart. Reclaiming space there in the back and strengthening the front of the shoulders. One more time. And the next time you come forward, we'll pause. Now we're going to do some neck stretches. If it feels better for you to sit cross-legged in Sukhasana, you could do that. Otherwise, butterfly pose is going to help to bring a little different space into the hips. Shoulders go back and down, hands rest softly onto the knees. We're going to turn, just keeping your chin parallel to the floor. We're going to turn our chin over to the right shoulder, and we're going to turn our eyes to the left. Deep breath in. All right, and we'll slowly turn. We're going to turn our chin over to the left, kind of squeeze it over there. And then once the chin is to the left, turn your eyes to the right. Bring yourself to center. Now we're going to drop our right ear towards the right shoulder. Deep breath in, soft shoulders. On an inhale, we lift up. And on an exhale, take it to the other side. Soft shoulders. Let's do that one more time each side. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. All right. Head comes back to center. Let's create Sukhasana if you are still in butterfly pose. We're going to bring our arms up and hold on to opposite elbows, a little genie move. Soft shoulders, drop your shoulders down. We're going to draw our arms over to the right. It's like you're using your right hand to draw the left arm across the front of the body, and the chin is going to turn over towards the left shoulder. Deep breath in and a full breath out. On an inhale, we'll bring ourselves back to center. Let's take it to the other side. Like you're using your left hand to draw the right arm across the body. The chin turns over towards the right, and we take a deep breath in. Exhale, soften the shoulders. We're going to move this way to the rhythm of the breath. Breathing in, we come to center. Breathing out, the arms go to the right, chin goes to the left. And inhale brings us back to center. Breathing out, arms to the left, chin to the right. Let's do that a couple more times. Our inhale brings us to center. Take your time. And the next time the arms come to the front, we're going to pause, soften the shoulders down. Still holding on to the elbows if that's accessible for you. We're going to lift our arms up and overhead. Lift your rib cage away from the floor, so feel yourself nice and tall. We're going to lift up through the right elbow. That's going to mean that you're going to lean a little bit to the right, to the left, but that's not really the cue, right? We're lifting up through the right elbow to find a little more space on the right side. Breathing in, we come to center. Actually, breathing in, we lift up. And then let's breathe out as we come to center. Yeah, finding that opening. Inhale as you lift up through the right elbow. Exhale as you come back one more time. Breathing in. Nice. Come to center, release the arms. Ooh, shake out your hands and arms. We'll shrug and roll the shoulders a few times. Breathing in as we squeeze up. Breathing out as the shoulders roll back and down. Let's do a couple more like that. Big breath in. Full breath out. Let's do one more. Let's slide our hands back so they're about mid-thigh, shoulders drop back and down. We're going to circle our head a few times. Slow motion, soft shoulders, deep breath. And we'll circle in the opposite direction. Bringing yourself to center. Deep breath in. Let's bring our hands together in front of the heart. You don't have to drop the hands down. Let's release any effort other than just having hands together in front of your heart center. Sit a little taller, close your eyes, soften your shoulders. Let's take a few slow, deep breaths together. Whether you are practicing with me live on this day or you're practicing with this video at a later date, it's all about energy anyway, right? And intention. So just imagine that you're receiving a breath at the very exact time that I am, and all of our yoga friends that are practicing live with me as this is being recorded. All part of this very sweet yoga community. Movement is medicine for the body, and stillness is medicine for the mind. Use both, my friend. You're worthy of that. An honor to lead your yoga practice. Be well and happy, yoga friend. Namaste.